Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Riesa, Pascal, along with Mitch English. Our next guest is not only a wildlife conservationist, but she's a pretty big star with anything that comes to alligators.
Indeed, and even crocodiles. Savannah Boan is the international ambassador for Gatorland Global right here in Central Florida. She, along with Gatorland, are pretty popular on TikTok with almost 1 million followers combined and viral videos getting well into the 25 to 30 millions. Yes. And she's back with us today to tell about her world travels just for us to learn more about the crocodile and alligators. And my understanding, we got one of each here, right?
We do. So you're holding an American alligator, which is a beautiful little baby hatched out in August at Gatorland. And this is a Nile crocodile that hatched out at Gatorland as well. So they're about the same age, but you can tell automatically the difference in size with these animals.
Now you before we started rolling, you were saying their names.
So this is Daily and this is Flash.
Yes.
This guy's pretty fast. I like that. Daily's like a cool name. Hey, in nature, would these two hang out? I mean,
so the state of Florida is really unique in that it's the only place in the world where there are alligators, crocodiles, and caiman. Yeah. So the alligators are American alligators. The crocodiles are Acutus crocodiles or American crocodiles. And then we also have an invasive population of spectacled caiman that are from South America that live in South Florida.
They wear glasses?
Wow.
Or?
No, but they have these weird little things over top of their eyes that make them look like they have glasses on.
Very cool.
Wow.
Then you make trips all around, literally the world, and you to Cuba, and you just got back from Australia.
Just
what
got
were you
back
doing
from
down
Australia.
there?
So in Australia, I spent some time with a gentleman named Graham Webb, who is like the godfather of all crocodile conservation in the world. And I spent some time with him, did some wild crocodile
look at that.
stuff. Went to Crocosaurus Cove, where you get to go in the water with crocodiles there. That's a big saltwater crocodile named Leo. And Leo wanted to eat my face off.
I bet he did.
It's like a plastic. This is about the closest you could be able to get into water.
There's no way you would.
Yeah.
My first question was, okay, so when this thing goes down, how do you get out? So they don't lock the top, so you could try to swim out, but you probably wouldn't make it. But you could try.
Getting that close where you're impressed, where you, like, did it teach you something that you might not have known about a crocodile? Did it give you a different knowledge of it? Or?
You know, the crocodiles in Australia are just so aggro, man. They're like a different world of crocodile.
Really?
Like, they just want to kill you. Like, that's it. I mean, our crocodiles that we have that live in the state of Florida, they're very shy by nature. Yeah. So they also live in Jamaica, and we do a lot of work in Jamaica, and they live in Cuba, 17 different countries. Here, they're just listed as vulnerable, but they were endangered at one point.
And of course, as you're mentioning Florida here, we have to remember we just experienced this really awful hurricane.
I know.
How did that impact Gatorland? And
it was terrible.
Are you back to normal?
We are back to normal now. We were closed for 2.5 weeks. Nothing escaped. Despite what you may have heard on TikTok, nothing escaped. So everything at Gatorland is fine, but we do have this new one that's coming. So, oh my gosh, could do without that. Yes.
But you know, you guys being in Florida, I mean, that's part of the.
It is.
You know that's going on. Can I say something? I was watching Vacation with the movie Chevy Chase, and Gatorland is at the beginning of it.
Yeah, we're the Holiday Road.
Yeah, and that says a lot because Gatorland has been in Central Florida well before all the other ones were. Right?
Yeah, it's a Florida icon, definitely. 73 years old, 74 this year. So it's been around forever.
Yeah.
All right. Now these guys are the stars. So tell us a little bit more about this American alligator. You had made mention and the Nile crocodile that we have.
So we have a crocodile at Gatorland, and his name's Lyle the Nile crocodile, and he's about 16 feet long, probably the biggest animal that we have.
Is that how big this guy could get?
And that's one of his babies.
Ooh, all right.
Now, you made mention of it. These are about the same age, and we'll try to get these. Now, they won't fight each other or anything, will
No, they won't fight each other at this age. Now, once that Nile crocodile gets a little bit bigger, he will definitely let that little alligator know who's boss.
I want to show the difference in the size to give you an idea of the crocodile. Just keep his mouth away from it. You could show how big it is.
Look how big the tail is. And like, even the camera can't. We could pull out a little more.
Gatorland actually has how many gators can people?
So we have over 2,000 alligators and crocodiles. Not all of them on display. Some of them are at different educational facilities all the way up into New York and all the way over to California.
Wow.
So it's a really
And
awesome
when
place.
did you discover you had a passion for this
Ever
industry?
since I was a little girl, I was
Yeah.
always catching snakes and lizards and whatever I could catch and keeping them in my dresser drawers and
Oh,
like
really?
my pets and things like that. And so, you know, I worked with Mitch and,
Yes.
and we worked in radio for a while and we did all different kinds of things, but you always come back to what you love.
Of
And
course.
so this is my passion and I'm very fortunate to be able to
So
work
much
for
so,
Gatorland.
I'm very proud of Savannah. She had a goal, says, I want to do a TED Talk and about the crocodile. And I
Yes.
imagine people were thinking, oh yeah, really.
Yeah, right. Because
Tell
I was
everybody what you-
homeless. So I was homeless, and I was like sitting in my Jeep. Didn't have anywhere to live. Didn't have any.
Wow.
I had a job though, but I still couldn't afford to live. I was in California, and as I'm in California sleeping in my car, I'm like, okay, so when I do a TED Talk, this is what I'm going to write about. This is what I'm going to say. This is what I think the world needs to. And then there it was, like 4 years later, I did a
Amazing.
TED Talk, and I'm invited to do another one in India.
Wow,
so
I would applaud, but I don't want to
We're-
squish this little guy.
This
but
is you feeding them there.
congratulations.
You do the work. You don't not just talk about it. You get up close to these gators
know.
and such. About how much a day would you have to feed a typical gator?
So they don't eat as much as people think. Maybe once a week is a good meal for them. Like a wild Florida alligator maybe eats once a month. And then in the wintertime, when it starts to cool off, they slow down and with their eating a little bit. Like this little guy's gonna eat probably 2 crickets and he's gonna be full.
My
This
guy
guy's-
is, if you can see, he ate her. His belly's a little bloated.
that guy eats a lot more
He's
for
getting
sure.
frisky. I think he knows we're coming to
I
the
love
end.
it. Yeah, Savannah, you do such a great job. You're headed to Cuba, right?
I am. On the 23rd, I'm headed to Cuba, one of my favorite places
all
in
over
the
the
world.
place. What are you gonna be doing there?
So we'll do some crocodile conservation work. When I was there in January, we released 10 Cuban crocodiles, and they are crazy.
It's crappy. You officially.
Let me help you out.
We'll leave it right there. End it with that. It crapped on the Daily Flash. A round of applause for Flash. Very nice. I also want to remind everybody tomorrow is Veterans Day, and Savannah, you are also a veteran.
I
So thank you for your
am.
service
Thank you for
in the
your
Marine
Thank you
Corps.
so much.
And thank you for teaching us more and more about this. So please come
Yes.
back with more. And of course, Gatorland is open, running. And if you really haven't had a Florida vacation, check them out at Gatorland.com. Then you can. You can also follow Savannah all over social media. Just look for Savannah Boan. Thank you so much, Savannah.